Hey guys, welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. Today, my guest is Carson Pitcher. Hey Carson,
Hello.
welcome to the show, man. I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm really happy to be here too. In case your crew doesn't know who's watching this, we filmed this before. I was on my end thinking that I was recording the screen the right way, and I totally messed up on recording. And you guys get to miss out on me falling off of my chair because when we were recording halfway through, my my chair, it was an exercise ball, decided to unplug and then deflate in mid conversation with Ryan here. So this time you don't get to see that much entertainment.
Tell me about yourself, Carson, aside from real estate. Like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Okay, well, I am a family man, so I've been married for 6 years. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. We have a son on the way who's going to be born in November. So, I like to do all sorts of things with my family, making lots of memories. And then when I'm on my own or with friends, I like to do anything that's competitive, like sports or board games or anything where I can compete with my friends and my brothers and try and show them who's boss.
What kind of games do you like to play?
Oh, I like board games that are themed around Lord of the Rings, so I'm a big nerd. And then, yeah, I like to play basketball, I like to play golf, like to hunt and fish and do all that kind of stuff too. So, lots of fun stuff to do out here in Alberta.
Which of the three movies did you like? Or the
Uh,
six, I should say.
the second movie for sure is the best. That's my fave.
Absolutely. What did you do before investing, before starting?
Before investing, I was working as a civil engineering technologist. And I was working downtown Calgary doing land development projects. So if you learn of Hotchkiss and Huxley and a lot of these newer developments that are in the southeast part, I played a part in, doing the budget for that and doing some of the layout for that. And then as well, I worked with the University of Calgary within my job as well for a lot of their water systems that they have underground. They have these big tunnels that are underneath the university, and I was down there inspecting a lot of the water pipes and making sure everything was, up to code and everything. So, yeah, that was a little bit what I did before this. I don't like to call it a huge career shift. It's more of a career pivot because it's still a lot of the same stuff, just you know, more to what I like to do.
How did it occur to you to start investing?
Well, I think I wanted to start investing because I realized that when I was working this 9 to 5 job, it wasn't going to be enough. Some people they work for, 10, 15 years just to get to a more stable, higher position. And I didn't see myself being able to enjoy my job and enjoy my quality of life, living while I'm still young, being there for my family. I didn't see myself being able to make those lasting memories and spend that quality time with my family if I were to climb that corporate ladder. And I really thought, a lot of people depend on that safety and security of working a secure engineering type job. And for me, I saw that it was not so safe and not so secure as I thought. And that the best course for me is to learn how to educate myself financially so that I can, have that quality of time with my family because time is the greatest commodity, way more important than money is time. And this is my path that I saw moving forward to have that.
What's your buy criteria? What do you buy?
So what I'm looking for right now, um, Karen is a business partner of mine, and we kind of discussed our business model. And what we were thinking is something that was 4% um, cash on cash at least, and then needed to have a positive cash flow so that we can give money to our investors and something that was realistic for us to get into. At one point we were looking at a $12 million 32 plex, and then we decided that was kind of too big of a bite for us to chew at this point. So right now we're looking at eight plexes.
Absolutely. What do you avoid?
What do I avoid? Um, I'd say it's hard to say I avoid things. I would rephrase it as like things that I'm aware of, because there's a lot of properties that can work and a lot that don't work. And they can both be new builds and they can also be, value add type projects on older builds. So, I don't avoid any of those situations. I embrace it and I do my research. And once I've, looked at it a little more in depth, then that's when I kind of make my decision if I should not move forward with it. So, I try and be open-minded to every opportunity, give it a solid chance to look into it, and then make that decision.
What has been your most successful investment in 2025 so far?
Okay, so 2025, you asked this last time too, and so I want to try and remember exactly what I said, but both 2024 and 2025 right now have been complete investments in education. I invested in 2024 with Wealth Genius, buying into that group. Um, so I've been being educated, I've been coached, I've been taught through modules, through different kind of seminars and events and everything where I've really been able to be educated both, through teaching that's online, but also through communication and through networking and through just surrounding myself with like-minded people. So education has been huge. And then on the same side for 2025, um, I've been spending more money on my personal business as a realtor, being more educated properly through the people with the right systems. So I joined the Justin Have a Real Estate team, because they're the number one team in Canada with EXP. They have these systems in place and these ways that educate me to really be the best realtor. So yeah, education for these last 2 years for me has been huge.
What has been your biggest mistake in investing and how did you learn from it?
Yeah, so investing with friends because they're friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to like people. It's okay to want to improve the lives of your friends and family. But I made a mistake where it wasn't necessarily a huge mistake. It was more of a learning experience. I invested with one of my close family friends. And he's very business oriented. Um, and I really like him as a person. I like the businesses he's done. But as we got going, we just found out that we operated very differently. And what I should have done before that was just be a little more thorough, um, talk to him from a business standpoint, see where his values are, see how he operates, see more, ask him more what his strengths and weaknesses are, instead of just dive right in with my friend. Um, you know, we still we've gone separate ways as far as the business goes now, but we had a lot of different times where we were, disagreeing or not quite seeing things the right way, and it cost us money, it costed us time, it costed us stress, and so I'd say invest with your friends, but first of all look at them from a business standpoint rather than just friends.
Like yeah, you gotta surround yourself with people who are in the same likeness as you. You know what I mean?
hmm And like your friends, you're gonna have a lot of the same values, but they not run things the same way as you, or they may not be able to collaborate the way that you were hoping to. If they have different strengths than you do, can you collaborate with them? And
Hmm.
those are just the questions you need to think about before you just jump in.
Yeah. Uh, what trends are you seeing in the market right now, in the real estate market, and where location wise?
Yeah, so I'm specific to Calgary area. The trends that I'm seeing right now is we're seeing, if we're looking, June of this year to June of last year, we're seeing a decrease in, benchmark home prices by 3.6%. Now, that's not necessarily going to be commercial housing or commercial properties, but in the residential world, that's what we're seeing. We're also seeing a lot of inventory hitting the Calgary market. So there's a lot of homes being built, and a lot of houses being listed, but they're not necessarily being sold at the rate that they used to be sold at. So we're seeing that there's a lot of properties that are sitting on the market for longer. And so, as a result, we see typically that prices are going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping until there's people who are willing to bring that up again. So we were really in a seller's market last year, and right now we're getting a lot more balanced.
That sounds like a good thing to me.
I think it's a good thing. We need to have these market cycles because, there's a point where everybody can fit into one of these market cycles where it's favorable for them. So it's good to have these cycles every once in a while to give people a chance to really spend their money or, make some money and then recycle it back into the economy. So we need these cycles.
Just a quick question. How long have you been in investing?
Yeah, so I'm pretty newbie myself. I'm green right into it. So I joined Wealth Genius June of last year, and now it's July of 2025. So just just over a year since I've really been into investing. Um, I've been interested in this, I'd say probably since I graduated high school, but I just didn't really know what to do. So I've been gathering bits and pieces of what I wanted to do, and now I'm actually executing and putting it all together. So, the last year is when I've really been doing this.
Good. That sounds great.
Yeah.
How do you manage your properties?
Yeah, so right as it stands right now, I was doing short-term rentals with my friend that I mentioned. I've since stepped back. So we were managing 8 units around Calgary, and yeah, that was what I was doing, and it was pretty intense. Have some horror stories and stuff like that. But you know, I'm going to speak to how I'm going to manage my properties once I get going on my portfolio here.
Mhm.
I really, you hear of the term slumlord, where people, don't nobody intends to be a slumlord, but people find if they're not balancing their finances properly or they're not looking ahead well enough and they're not budgeting well enough, they end up cheaping out on a lot of aspects that affects people's quality of life.
Mm.
And so, my whole goal is to really be on top of this and be in good communication, healthy communication with my tenants. I want to be able to, first of all, vet my tenants and be very thorough in who I'm allowing to, live in my buildings and, do background checks, look at their financial situation, interview them personally to see who they are as people, to see if they're the type of people that I feel like I can trust and build a relationship with. Every aspect of real estate is a relationship business, and so the management side of it is absolutely the same. Um, so I want to make sure that my management, people have that reflection of me that I'm not a slumlord, that I genuinely care about these people. And, if I take care of the people, then they're going to take care of me. So that's kind of the mindset that I'm going to have with management here.
Yeah. Do you invest with partners or go solo? And what are the pros and cons?
hmm So going solo is not really at all my mindset. I rather have a piece of the pie than no pie at all. So some people are, wealthy enough or they have the background to be able to do it all themselves. Um, but at the same time, they're taking on all the risk too. So, I'd rather take advantage of other people's expertise, other people's time, other people's systems that they have in place, and work together and form a team and work together as a team rather than try and do it all myself. Because when you can do that, uh, you're not over leveraging yourself necessarily. You're able to do your part. You're able to repeat it with that same team, and you're spreading out that level of risk. Also, you have people that you could, um, lean on when you're having trouble with something, or say there's an emergency with management later down the road, and I need somebody to help me out. There's people, and the more people that you have on your team, um, the more people that they know that can help. So it's just always a good idea, in my opinion, to team up. And as long as the numbers make sense, include people as much as you can.
Yeah, I noticed this a lot with the other investors I talk to, OPMs and OPTs, other
Yep.
people's money and other people's time.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a common trend I see with Alfonso. He likes to say that a lot.
Mhm. And right now I'm at the stage where I have a lot of time. People who are with me every day or talking to me often would think otherwise, that I'm super busy, but it's because I'm trying to, leverage um, with other people to get this business going as an investor. I'm spending a lot of my time trying to work with others. I'm young. I mean, I'm 28, so that's double what you are. So, but in the terms of most of the world, I'm still pretty young, especially getting started in this. And so I don't have a lot of capital to be putting into big projects like this. And so, I value my time more than I value money. And if I had the money, I would definitely be using my money instead of my time. But eventually, I want to switch over to that, right?
Uh, just a couple more questions. Sorry, we're almost running out of time here. I'll make this quick. How would you define a liability
Liability.
in your own way?
I'd say something that you don't really have an exit strategy for, something that you haven't planned for, um, something that, if you're looking at liabilities versus assets, an asset is something that pays you and puts money into your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So that's kind of a condensed version of what it is. That's what Robert Kiyosaki says in a lot of his books, is that's
Oh yeah.
that's what a liability is.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any businesses that support your investment journey other than the Justin Harv team?
The Justin Haver team. Um, you know, I've decided to, instead of trying to do so many different things, to just focus on, one thing right now. So right now it's being a realtor and being an investor. That's my main focus. I had that Airbnb business that I was doing, and I decided that I was spreading myself too thin. I was becoming a master of all trades, or I was, what was it? What's the phrasing? Um, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. That's what I'm trying to say. And so, it's always good to have like little side gigs and stuff like that. But if you're doing so many that you can't get ahead, then that's where you run into trouble.
Yeah. And speaking of Robert Kiyosaki, is there
Mhm.
any book, resource, or person that you would suggest that you would recommend to me and my audience?
Every one of his books, you can't go wrong with his books. The first one to start with is Rich Dad Poor Dad, and the next one to start after that is Cash Flow Quadrant. Those two, amazing.
Yeah, I read the Cash Flow Quadrant. It was really good.
Life changers.
Yeah,
And if
you
I was
definitely want to be on
14,
the right side.
if I was 14 reading Cash Flow Quadrant, man, I don't even know where I'd be right now.
Yeah,
So,
and you definitely want to be on the right side of it.
mhm.
Absolutely. For those who know.
Yep.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me, Carson. I hope to see you again.
Yeah, let's keep in touch. I'll be going out to all these events with your parents whenever there's, a Wealth Genius event. There's always some sort of thing in Calgary happening. So tag along with them and keep surrounding yourself in this because, you know, like I said, if I was 14 doing this, like I would be miles ahead. And so I wish I was in your shoes right now. You're educating yourself and taking that time. Education is really the number one thing you could be doing right now. So you're doing all the right things.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you, Ryan. You have a great one. And let's see this pop off on YouTube here.
Thank you.